So, I wish him the best at the coach thing. He always was a ball player, so it's second nature to him. So maybe that's, where he's supposed to be.
Master P just pulled off a shocking career pivot, and people can't stop talking about it. This is the same man who stacked up a $480 million empire from pure hustle, pushed over 100 million records, and still ended up staring down bankruptcy like it was another fight he had to handle. Everyone assumed his retirement was supposed to be a break from the chaos, a chance to breathe and chill for a minute. But his new interview flips the whole story on its head. He lays out the fall off, the family wounds, and all the smoke swirling behind the scenes. When Y2K rolled in, Master P was sitting on a kingdom most people could only imagine. But under all that gold and those tank logos, cracks were sneaking in fast. The same plan that once made No Limit an unstoppable machine, dropping non-stop albums like clockwork, started dropping off in power, and the returns got weaker. His constant public talk about maybe retiring had fans confused, unsure if they should keep riding with an artist who sounded like he could walk away any day. Plus, he was trying to balance raw street heat with cleaner, family-friendly moves, like pushing his son Little Romeo into the spotlight. And that switch-up had the market unsure of what No Limit even stood for anymore. Then the legal mess started stacking like bricks. The crew that once moved like a tight squad began breaking apart. Artists were bouncing, lawsuits piled up, and by 2003, No Limit Records officially filed for bankruptcy. It was a wild crash for a label that just 5 years earlier was one of the hottest money-making forces in the whole music business. But even those business disasters, no matter how heavy, didn't come close to the personal heartbreak that hit Master P. The pain didn't start in the 2000s either. It reached back decades. Like we mentioned, his brother Kevin lost his life in 1990, a wound that never fully healed. But that tragedy was only the start of a long stretch of losses that would have crushed plenty of people. Then there's his brother Corey Miller, known in the streets as C Murder, who got locked up in 2002 for a murder case that Master P has openly challenged for over 20 years, carrying the weight of seeing his own blood behind bars while he himself was reaching massive success, created a pressure that only a few could even begin to understand. Master P has kept fighting, staying vocal, pushing for justice, and in 2020, he even sparked protests that brought national attention to the case. But in May 2022, life hit him with something no parent should ever face. His daughter, Tatiana Miller, passed away at 29 from an accidental fentanyl overdose. She had been battling addiction and mental health struggles, fights that happened away from cameras and away from the public eye, and the law shook him in a way that money could never shield him from. Families at every income level face heavy issues, but that pressure hits different when the whole world is watching your every move. Master P didn't run from this heartbreak, he stepped forward and spoke on it loud and clear, saying mental illness and substance abuse are real problems that people shouldn't stay quiet about. In his 2025 interviews, he opened up about honoring Tiana by bringing his family closer, especially rebuilding things with his son Romeo Miller, formerly known as Lil Romeo. He stressed how important it was for him to communicate better as a father. His marriage also cracked under all that non-stop stress. After 24 years together, he and his ex-wife Sonia C divorced, and Master P later admitted he used to hide all her problems during the marriage. The whole perfection act that fame demands ended up draining the most personal parts of his life while he was fighting his own storms. While Master P was handling those personal demons, another long-running tension was heating up, something that stretched back decades. His complicated situation with Brian Birdman Williams and Cash Money Records wasn't the usual hip-hop drama with diss tracks or loud back-and-forth shots. This was deeper, more tangled, tied to the very streets of New Orleans where both men built their names. Master P represented Third Ward's Calypia Projects, while Birdman came out of Uptown Magnolia.
It was the perfect.
Bro,
Yeah.
like right there watching y'all, and I heard him, and then when you came out after the song ended and said it, I thought to myself, because I could see the crowd go bout it.
Yeah.
In a city where project loyalty meant something serious, these two bosses lived close but moved in completely different worlds. As Birdman explained in interviews, we're from two different projects. He added, so it just didn't ever mix. We ain't never had no beef, ain't nobody dead, but we just never vibed. But under that simple explanation, there were darker stories floating around. Birdman's brother Terrence Gangster Williams, linked by rumors to over 40 bodies, was accused of taking the life of Master P's cousin, Randall Calypia Slim, something Williams is denied. The rumors, the street talk, and the guilt by association whispers mixed with the earlier murder of Master P's brother Kevin, and that froze the line between both camps for good. Those old wounds never really faded. Then you had the business smoke. When Cash Money was exploding in the late 90s with 400 Degrees and the Hot Boys, Birdman was hunting for a distribution deal that could flip the whole industry on its head. He almost locked one in with Priority Records, the same label that helped push No Limit into the sky. But according to Birdman, that deal crashed because of Master P. In a 2025 No Chill interview, Birdman claimed Master P told the Priority team, if y'all sign them, y'all can't sign nobody else from the South. That move allegedly forced Cash Money into their Universal joint venture, a deal that brought massive fame, but also came with years of internal fighting, including Lil Wayne's big 2015 breakup over unpaid royalties. Master P has brushed off those claims, saying it was competition, not sabotage. He even said, we never tried to destroy each other. The younger generation needs to take notes. For years, people dreamed of seeing these two New Orleans giants share a stage, and on October 25, 2025, it finally happened. The Cash Money vs. No Limit versus at ComplexCon, pushed as a moment of real New Orleans unity.
Birdman remind me of like one of my uncles that they just gonna say whatever. Yeah. That's just a New Orleans thing. So I ain't really take it, but I'm like, bro, I've been out here already. You know what I'm saying? You started that, or the name of that stunting, but me for body, this is what I started. And I, we come from that. We come from uptown, Third Ward, Cali, They come from the Magnolia, and that's.
The stage looked like history in motion. Snoop Dogg reunited with Master P, and Juvenile rocked the crowd right next to Mia X. For a second, it felt like all that old tension might melt into something positive. But old energy always finds a way to slide back in, feel me? In the middle of the battle, Birdman suddenly went into a rant about missing Hot Boy member Turk, then started throwing slick comments about disloyalty, staring straight at Master P's side of the stage like he wanted everyone to catch the message. The tension in that room was so heavy, you could almost feel it pressing on your shoulders. And then came the moment that blew up the whole internet. That was Master P's clapback. Clean, sharp, and delivered with the timing of an OG who had been holding those words in for years. It landed like a perfect countermove, smooth and direct. Later on, Master P talked about the exchange with straight boss confidence, like someone who's been through enough storms to stay calm no matter what comes his way. And right after that heated moment, he flipped the entire energy. Master P walked across the stage and gave Birdman a dap and a salute, shocking the whole crowd. People instantly started asking, was that a real truce, or just two veterans giving each other a quick nod before stepping back into their own lanes? After the event, Master P stayed on the high road, saying, I knew him from day one. We have that much respect. But folks online were already dissecting everything. Social media noticed Birdman dipped off the stage fast after the dap, stirring theories that the old tension was still floating in the air and that he wasn't trying to hang around P too long. And Lil Wayne not showing up? The official reason was tour commitments, but fans thought it looked suspicious because of his long royalty fight with Birdman, adding even more shade to the night. Through bankruptcy, heartbreak, divorce, and decades of regional friction, Master P never stopped pushing forward. Even when No Limit was falling apart, he was already building the next wave. He launched Gooder Music in 2005 with his son Romeo, then introduced No Limit Forever in 2010. He spread out into acting too, showing up in films like Foolish and producing the sitcom Romeo, which ran from 2003 to 2016. He even stepped into the basketball world, not as a player this time, but as a coach and mentor, helping develop AAU standouts like DeMar DeRozan. And in 2013, he hit a milestone that proved his whole journey was bigger than anyone ever expected. Master P became the first hip-hop artist ever inducted into the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame, a move that stamped his legacy in bold letters. His business hustle stretched way past music, branching into Uncle P's Spice brand, real estate through PM Properties, where he managed over 100 units, energy drinks, and even partial ownership in the wrestling promotion House of Glory. And in 2021, Lincoln University honored him with an honorary doctorate, a salute to a man who proved street smarts and school smarts can live in the same visionary mind. At that point, the question wasn't whether Master P could survive anymore, it was, what's this man about to do next?
I didn't know it till late. You know, at the end of the day, to each his own. You know, maybe he had a point to where, you know, he felt like he did enough. And I remember this in the beginning, you know, it's actually like the second retirement. I think he retired semi after the last done in the beginning. And came back. So you never know what's going on with people personally and what's the reason for the season. So I mean, it is what it is. You know, salute P, I always did from the gate.
Then came the final bow and the start of a brand new chapter. On July 6, 2025, something major happened. Something that closed one era and cracked open another. At the Essence Festival of Culture in New Orleans, Master P hit the stage and told the world this would be his farewell performance after almost 38 years in the rap game. The show had a full No Limit reunion with Silk the Shocker, Drew Hill, and Kerry Hilson, a lineup that felt like both a celebration and a final goodbye. His reason for stepping back was straight honesty. He said, "I'm growing to another level. There's a lot of negative stuff going on in hip-hop, and people don't want to talk about the positive things." This wasn't a retirement from being defeated or fading away. It was Master P realizing his mission had shifted, and the battles ahead were bigger than streams or chart spots. Young Bleed, a former No Limit soldier who put in real work during the label's prime, spoke on the retirement news with respect. And that's exactly where Master P figured he needed to be in early 2025. Percy Miller was appointed president of basketball operations and head coach for the University of New Orleans Privateers men's basketball team, a full-circle moment for a man who once chased NBA dreams before life sent him down a different road. Under his leadership, now going simply by Coach P, he stepped into a new purpose with that same unstoppable drive. The program went through a full makeover under Coach P. He brought in 13 new players for the 2025-26 season and oversaw major upgrades, a revamped locker room, a sharper practice gym, and even a brand new jumbotron lighting up Lakefront Arena. The whole program got a clean branding reset and is now connected to the LSU system. But for Master P, this isn't just about wins and losses. He's locked in on mentorship, posting Bible verses in the locker room and pushing real life skills that reach way past basketball. He knows something a lot of coaches overlook. These young bulls need more than drills and playbooks. They need someone who survived hard battles and can lead them safely into their own futures. The team tipped off their season in November 2025 with an exhibition win over Sacramento State. And on October 18th, the energy was so strong it pulled in celebs like Shaquille O'Neal and Mike Bibby to witness the start of a brand new chapter. But Master P's vision stretches way beyond the hardwood. He wants to boost enrollment, lift community pride, and spark youth development across New Orleans. In a move that shows his heart for the city, he personally covered tickets for 4,000 middle schoolers to come see games, planting big dreams in kids who might never have imagined college before. He even reached out to Lil Wayne and J. Cole for possible performances to help with recruiting, using his entertainment ties to shine a spotlight on the program that's been overlooked for way too long. And yeah, there's been chatter. Some people online question his qualifications, pointing out the fact he doesn't have a college degree, but supporters clap back saying his business experience and community loyalty are exactly what the program needs. Not just another career coach, but a builder, someone who knows how to create something out of nothing. When Cash Money hit the spotlight again, Master P shocked everybody by dropping a surprise album. It wasn't a full comeback, just P doing what he always does, popping out when the moment actually matters. His new approach makes it clear his days of non-stop releases are done, but he'll still show up for big cultural moments that shake things up. He didn't retire from relevance, he just moves smarter now.
So, what does Master P's empire look like in 2025? His net worth sits around $200 million, built from decades of smart moves. Beyond the royalty checks still rolling in from No Limit's legendary catalog, he built wealth through Uncle P's Spice brand, PM Properties Real Estate, partial ownership in House of Glory Wrestling, and a stack of consumer and entertainment investments. He also puts on for New Orleans as the city's entertainment ambassador, using his platform to spotlight the place that raised him. And his philanthropy runs deep. P. Miller Youth Centers and financial literacy programs aimed at-risk youth, passing down the same game that changed his life. But the biggest measure of his impact isn't just his wins, it's who he inspired. Nipsey Hussle openly said No Limit shaped his whole independent mindset. That ownership blueprint, keeping your masters, staying in control, using major labels without giving them everything, became the model modern powerhouse teams like Quality Control follow today. When No Limit Chronicles dropped on BET in 2020, a whole new generation finally saw how ahead of his time Master P really was. The 5-part series showed how No Limit went from selling tapes out the trunk to becoming a late 90s powerhouse that ran the charts without following anyone's rules. IMDb reviews even said Master P represented a real boss who fought through every obstacle. The doc also reignited public support for C. Murder's release, proving that even P's older work still hits the real world hard. And when BET ranked him number 28 on their list of most influential rappers, it wasn't just about hits. It was about how he changed the entire mindset around ownership and independence. What happened to Master P? He evolved, just like he's been doing his whole life. From the projects to a record store, from the store to a label, from the label to film, TV, philanthropy, and sports, he never stopped reinventing himself. At 55, Percy Miller stands as living proof that reinvention isn't just possible, it's necessary. The same streets that could have crushed him became the base for an empire. The same pain that could have broken him pushed him toward community work and family healing. And the same industry that tried to box him in watched him build new boxes and sell them for profit. As he said in No Limit Chronicles, "If I made it out the conditions that I made it out of, then you can do it too." That's the blueprint of a real builder. Percy Robert Miller was born April 29, 1970 in New Orleans' Calliope Projects, an area consumed by poverty and danger where high crime wasn't a surprise. Master P grew up in New Orleans, raised by his grandmother after his parents split, learning fast that nothing in life was guaranteed. He bounced between schools like St. Augustine and Booker T. Washington, soaking up the culture that later shaped his whole movement. He also had real basketball talent, playing briefly at the University of Houston before heading to Merritt College in Oakland to study business, a choice that would change everything. In 1989, after his grandfather passed, P inherited $10,000 from a malpractice settlement, and instead of wasting it, he flipped it into a record store in Richmond, California. That little shop became the first brick in what would become a massive empire. Then in 1990, his brother Kevin was killed, pushing P to leave the streets behind and build something bigger for his family. By 1991, the store evolved into No Limit Records. While others chased major label deals, Master P chased ownership. Early releases like Mind of a Psychopath and Get Away Clean built buzz from the Bay to New Orleans. TRU, his group with C. Murder and Silk the Shocker, took things even further. His big break came in 1995 when he locked in a distribution deal with Priority Records that let him keep 85% of his sales and own his masters, a wild move in an industry that wasn't built for that kind of power. With Beats by the Pound crafting the sound, No Limit turned into a machine. Ice Cream Man went platinum in 1996, and his indie film I'm 'Bout It flipped a $1.5 million budget into $16 million. Then Ghetto D dropped in 1997 and blew up with 760,000 first-week sales and over 6.6 million worldwide. Plus, Make 'Em Say Huh turned into the anthem of an entire era. By 1998, Master P was running the whole rap game like a general. MP The Last Dawn debuted at number 1, I Got the Hookup pulled in $29 million off a tiny budget. He signed Snoop Dogg, dropped a clothing line, and No Limit racked up close to $500 million that year alone. By the early 2000s, the label had already moved more than 100 million records worldwide. Master P even made NBA preseason rosters while running a music and film empire at the same time, something nobody else was doing. He showed the world you don't need to sell your soul to win big. You need strategy, ownership, and non-stop grind. But like every empire, even No Limit eventually hit storms as the next chapter rolled in, proving that every rise comes with its own battles.